Right now, while you're watching this, your body is making a decision. It is scanning every cell for damage, for junk, for debris. And if you give it the right signal, it will start eating itself. Not metaphorically, literally. And that is the single most powerful thing it can do for you. You've been trying. You've been clean eating, maybe fasting, maybe skipping breakfast. You've read about inflammation, about mitochondria, about longevity, but nobody has ever shown you the exact biological clock, the precise moment, down to the hour, when your body flips the switch and begins dismantling its own damaged, aging, toxic cellular garbage. That moment is what this video is about. You might think it takes days of fasting, a week of starving, some extreme protocol only biohackers attempt. And that assumption is exactly why most people never activate it, because the truth is far simpler and far more accessible than anyone has told you. You could eat perfectly clean for 6 months, exercise every single day, spend thousands on supplements, and if you never flip this switch, every single one of those efforts is working at a fraction of its potential, because this switch is the master reset, the cellular deep clean, the repair cycle your body has been waiting to run. The villain here has a very specific name: mTOR complex 1. Mechanistic target of rapamycin complex 1. This is the molecular gatekeeper standing between you and autophagy, and when mTOR complex 1 is active, which it is every time you eat, autophagy is completely suppressed. One molecule, one switch. Here's what you need to hear before we go further. This is not about willpower. This is not about discipline. This is not even about what you eat. Your cells are not lazy, not broken, not against you. They have been waiting, with full biological precision, for you to send them the right signal. Nobody told you the signal, until right now. By the end of this video, you will know the exact molecular cascade that activates autophagy, the 7 things this process does that no supplement can replicate, and a precise protocol you can start today. Not motivation, biology. This isn't about calories or clean eating. This is about a single molecular switch and the precise moment it goes silent. And the multi-billion-dollar wellness industry has never once shown you exactly when that moment arrives. For nearly 4 billion years, every living thing has faced the same problem, famine, and the organisms that survived weren't those with the biggest fat stores. They were the ones who figured out how to eat themselves, to cannibalize their own damaged parts and generate fuel from within. Autophagy is not a disease process. It is the oldest survival program in the history of life on Earth. It has been conserved, nearly unchanged, from yeast to humans. But here is where the problem begins. Your biology has not updated its software in 200,000 years. But your environment changed completely. Our ancestors ate, then didn't eat for hours, then days, and autophagy ran constantly because the body had no choice. Today, most people eat within 30 minutes of waking, snack throughout the day, and every single time food arrives, mTOR complex 1 activates, and the autophagy switch turns off. The deep clean your body is desperate to run never happens. So what is the actual mechanism? mTOR complex 1 is essentially the bouncer at the door of your cell's recycling plant. When glucose and amino acids are high, that bouncer says nobody gets in. But when nutrients drop, a kinase called ULK1 activates, triggers BCLIN1, and a membrane begins curving around damaged proteins and broken mitochondria, sealing into a sphere called an autophagosome. Think of it as a garbage bag your cell just tied shut, which fuses with a lysosome, your cell's incinerator, and everything inside is broken down into usable building blocks. Old diseased material, gone. New building blocks, ready. Autophagy is not something you add to your body. It is something you stop blocking. You have never been deficient in autophagy. You have been accidentally suppressing it 3 to 6 times a day. The question is only, how long until mTOR complex 1 goes quiet? First, the cellular deep clean. Most people, when they feel sluggish and foggy, add things. Another supplement, another coffee. But the problem isn't a deficiency in inputs. It's an excess of outputs that never got cleared. Every day, your cells produce misfolded proteins that, without autophagy, accumulate into toxic clusters, clog cellular machinery, compromise mitochondria, and you feel it as brain fog you cannot explain. Think of it as a recycling crew moving through your city at Thram, collecting every broken structure before you wake up. The brain fog you've been fighting with stimulants is a garbage problem, not a fuel problem. Nixon et al. Documented exactly this accumulation in Alzheimer's tissue and confirmed that restoring autophagic flux cleared it. Empty stomach means the cleanup crew is running. Second, The immune reset. Most people think immunity is a weapon you fire outward, so they buy elderberry and zinc. But there is an entire battlefield inside your cells nobody talks about. When a virus enters a cell and starts replicating before your outer immune sensors detect it, autophagy runs xenophagy, a search and destroy process that wraps the autophagosome around the pathogen like a molecular straitjacket and delivers it to the lysosome incinerator. Gutierrez et al. Demonstrated this mechanism directly destroys Mycobacterium tuberculosis, one of the most drug-resistant pathogens on Earth. The best antiviral protocol ever designed was already built into your DNA, you just keep turning it off at breakfast. Which of those first two surprised you more, the brain fog link or the immune one? Drop it in the comments below, I read every single one. Okay, number 3 is the one people never see coming because it's about energy, and it has nothing to do with what you think. Third, the mitochondria funeral. You're chronically tired, so you drink more coffee or try CoQ10, but you're not tired because you lack mitochondria. You're tired because too many of yours are old, damaged, and leaking electrons that form free radicals, damaging surrounding mitochondria, raising inflammation, producing the afternoon crash no amount of sleep ever fully fixes. Autophagy runs mitophagy, selective destruction of dysfunctional mitochondria. Think of it as decommissioning the reactors that are leaking radiation before they poison the whole facility. And when the old ones are cleared, your cells signal for new mitochondrial biogenesis. The solution to your energy problem is not adding more fuel, it is demolishing the broken power plants. Fourth, the anti-aging mechanism. Aging doesn't start at the surface. It starts in your cells' ability to clean themselves, and here is what nobody in the anti-aging space talks about. In 2013, researchers overexpressed the autophagy gene in mice, and those mice lived 17% longer, with better motor function, leaner bodies, and less age-related pathology, published in Nature Communications. Not a single drug, not a single supplement, just more autophagy. Think of it as a molecular rust removal service. The car that gets regular treatment at the cellular level stays functional decades longer. The most powerful anti-aging intervention available to you right now is not in any bottle. It is the gap between your last meal and your first. Fifth, the tumor suppressor. And this is the one most people aren't ready for. A protein called BECLIN-1, encoded by the BECN1 gene, is autophagy's master regulator, the quality inspector flagging defective cells before they accumulate genomic instability. Liang et al. At Columbia showed that losing even one copy of this gene is found in 40 to 75% of breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers, published in Nature 1999. I know this is where people want to argue, because we've been told cancer prevention is about adding antioxidants and fiber, and all of that matters, but the upstream cellular surveillance system runs on autophagy, and you cannot add your way past a suppressed security system. Sixth, the metabolic reboot. Caloric deficit creates some fat loss, but it doesn't touch the lipid trapped inside your liver cells driving insulin resistance. Autophagy runs lipophagy, selective degradation of lipid droplets. Think of it as a drain cleaning service, routing accumulated fat directly into the metabolic furnace. Singh et al. At Columbia demonstrated this mechanism in Nature, 2009. Eating less doesn't activate lipophagy, stopping eating long enough does. And the stubborn fat that resists your diet may not be a calorie problem, it may be a lipophagy problem. Seventh, the neurological shield. Neurons are the one cell type you don't replace, and without autophagy continuously clearing misfolded tau proteins and amyloid fragments, the aggregates reach toxic thresholds and cognitive decline begins years before any symptom is obvious. Hara et al. Showed that deleting a single autophagy gene in mouse neurons caused progressive neurodegeneration identical to human disease, published in Nature 2006. Alirazaye et al. Demonstrated that fasting as little as 24 hours induces profound neuronal autophagy across multiple brain regions. Your brain doesn't decline because it ages. It declines when the cleaning crew stops showing up. Now, before you rush to skip breakfast tomorrow, stop, because here is where most people make the critical mistake. They activate autophagy while their body is still cortisol-flooded and chronically stressed, and autophagy in an inflamed environment can accelerate damage in the wrong tissues. 3 things sabotage it even when you're fasting correctly. Chronic cortisol keeps mTOR complex 1 partially active, so spend 10 minutes on physiological breathing before your fast, 4 seconds in, 8 out. Low electrolytes drop cellular energy below the threshold needed for robust autophagy, so use a mineral solution during fasting windows. No calories, just sodium and magnesium. And breaking the fast with a high glycemic meal slams mTOR complex 1 back on before the rebuilt components are assembled, so break with protein and fat first, and delay carbohydrates 30 minutes. The quality of your fast is determined by how you enter it and how you exit it, not just by the hours in between. Here is the protocol. On waking, do not eat. Your overnight fast has been suppressing mTOR, and every hour you extend it compounds the gain. Drink water with sea salt. Spend 10 minutes on controlled breathing to lower cortisol. Between hours 12 and 14 the switch point arrives. mTOR complex 1 significantly suppressed. Autophagosomes forming throughout your tissues. Between hours 16 and 18, rising beta-hydroxybutyrate further activates FOXO3 and upregulates autophagy gene expression, a double activation. Break the fast with protein and fat first. Delay carbohydrates 30 minutes, then within an hour do 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise, because he et al. In nature-proved exercise independently activates autophagy through AMP, and the combination creates the highest quality cellular renovation window available to you. By day 3 mental clarity arrives, not caffeine clarity, cellular clarity. By week 2 the afternoon crashes fade, and by dinner you have consumed 30 to 40% fewer calories without even trying. By weeks 4 to 8, fat loss qualitatively different from caloric restriction arrives, because lipophagy is accessing stores that a deficit alone could never reach. Fat loss becomes a side effect, not the goal. If you've genuinely learned something you didn't know before watching this, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it puts this in front of someone who needs it. Now let me leave you with the most important thing. Most people approach their health like a dirty house. They spray air freshener, light a candle, buy another supplement, and then wonder why the smell never goes away. The wellness industry has built a multi-billion-dollar empire on this misunderstanding, because inputs are sellable: powders, capsules, programs, devices. Nobody sells you the gap. Nobody profits from the hours between dinner and breakfast. But that gap is where the real medicine lives. Health is not a function of what you add to your body. It is a function of what your body is free to remove. Autophagy is the most ancient, sophisticated, and irreplaceable removal system in the history of biology. It predates the human species by billions of years. It won a Nobel Prize, and all it has ever needed from you is time. Your body is not broken. It is not working against you. Your cells have been waiting, with perfect evolutionary precision, for the signal that it is safe to clean house. You were never the problem. The eating schedule was the problem. The signal was wrong. The biology was always right. Tonight, when you finish your last meal, give your body the silence it needs to do what it has always been designed to do. Remember what I said at the very beginning? Right now, while you're watching this, your body is making a decision, scanning every cell, waiting for the signal. Now you know what that signal is. Now you know exactly when it arrives. Now you know precisely what it does. The decision hasn't changed, but you have. Give it the silence. Let the night shift do its job. If this resonated, subscribe to this channel. I break down human biology through molecular science so you stop guessing and start understanding how your body actually works. Every video is built like this one. Like this video, it tells the algorithm this is the content you want to see. Comment below, how many hours is your current overnight fast, and which of the 7 benefits are you implementing first? I read every single comment. Share this with someone who has been struggling with their health for years. Someone who has tried every diet, every supplement, every protocol. Someone who's been told their metabolism is just slow. Their body is just like that. Show them the real answer isn't willpower. It's biology. I'll see you in the next one.